Hi, welcome back everybody to Stop Thinking
Start
Feeling
podcast.
Here we are again.
We are your hosts.
Aren't you happy to see us?
My name is Emily.
I'm Christina.
Oh my god, amazing.
Wow.
How exciting. And that's it. Goodbye.
Bye. See you next week, maybe.
We'll see.
We actually give up on this.
Yeah. We realized we're scared.
Yeah.
No,
It's just too much work to talk.
Yeah, actually.
I can't do it anymore.
I'm tired. Anyway, we're joking.
Tell them what this episode is going to be about.
Today, the episode is going to be about the unhinged lines and moments of Life with Derek. And boy, howdy, there's a lot. There's so many. And when we talk about...
So many. Can we just...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's scroll. It's a lot. This is the list.
Like, I'm not even...
It's not even done yet. Oh my god, actually.
As you can tell, we're breaking this into probably 2 episodes at least.
At least.
So we're hoping to cover season 1 and season 2.
Yeah.
And along the way, we'll add in, like, favorite lines. But mostly just want to talk about the Unhinged dasey lines, moments. That we all love.
Exactly.
And if we miss anything, let us know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we missed some. I mean, we watched this show together.
We rewatched Life with Derek right after Life with Luca.
Yeah. And
it was an experience.
Yeah. And it was, I would recommend it, actually.
It was kind of like, even though we've seen these episodes like 600 times, it was almost like watching Life with Derek again for the first time. It was magical.
You said Life with Derek again. Anyway.
I feel like there should be a punishment every time I say Life with Derek again.
Take a drink.
This is not something, that's just, don't ever talk about it.
Yeah. It's a no-go. Rest in peace, Life with Derek
again. It's a no-no zone. Rest in peace.
That needs
Pour one out for the homie.
That needs to be its own episode.
It does.
I'll
dress all in black.
We're mourning. Yeah. We're mourning.
So yeah, we're just gonna start in season 1 and just
we'll start in season 1 and we're gonna talk about we're talking about unhinged lines, as Christina says, dasey related unhinged lines and moments. Some of them are not lines, but
they're crazy.
But they are crazy,
to include them, yes.
And we will include them and we will talk about them. And we started watching this, as I was saying, right after Life with Luca aired, and we didn't
February.
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't start making the list right away, so there may be stuff that we missed.
True.
And so if you can think of any unhinged lines, absolutely leave them in the comments.
Yes, please.
Absolutely message us on Twitter and Instagram.
Please.
Because we want to know every single unhinged Derek line.
Mostly Derek.
Let's be real.
That was just a Freudian slip.
Yep.
Okay.
Life with Derek. Anyway.
Life with Derek being obnoxious.
So, of course, we start off the series with an episode, the pilot episode called The Room, which is actually interesting because I feel like a lot of pilot episodes are just called pilots.
That's true, yeah.
So, and this is literally called The Room.
It does have a title.
It has a title. And it is...
What a pilot it is.
It is a pilot.
It truly is
I'm not trying to be sarcastic. It is actually a very good pilot.
It is a very good pilot. It kind of just says... I mean, obviously, characters get tweaked as seasons go on and you figure out their identity. But it's just like... The chaos of the McDonald Venturi house was just front and center.
Yes.
They're like, welcome to the madness.
Absolutely.
Derek's a butthole.
Yeah. Yep.
Casey's pissed. Mm-hmm. The kids are underappreciated.
Yep.
Nora and George are stressed.
Yes.
And you're feeling it.
And yeah, you're feeling the stress too. And
so good job.
Exactly. Wonderful. And of course, in this episode, Derek and Casey are fighting over where they're going to live because there's no room in the house.
There's no room in the house.
No
Edwin got kicked into the attic.
Yes.
For some reason, Morty gets to have her own room even though she's 6.
Yeah, that's crazy, actually. And so they're all fighting about, not all, they're both fighting about what, who's getting what room and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, then they decide, George and Nora decide to renovate
renovate
the basement to be a bedroom for Casey. But she doesn't want to live in the basement. Regardless, she devises this plan. I'm not trying to go over every single detail of the room.
We're just setting the
scene. And
I mean, technically, the scene that we're setting is the very first scene of the episode.
Yes.
As per our first line. We have a guest star. This is Elmo.
And he's here.
Every time he hears about Life of Derek, he's like, I must be present.
Yeah, 100, which is like all the time. So.
Yes, he's always here. Hello.
I love him. Anyways, so the first unhinged moment / line that we have written down here is that Derek is about to use the toilet right in front of Casey. Casey is in the bathroom trying to get Marty to leave because she has to take a shower or something. I can't remember whether she's showering or peeing.
Yeah, and Edwin's in there too. He's like in his underwear and he freaks out. Edwin just
walks in and he freaks out because he's in his underwear.
Yeah,
and
he's like, I'm in my skivvies. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I gotta go. And then Derek walks in. And she's like, hello, like, I'm gonna use the bathroom. And he's like, oh, that's too bad. And he, like, lifts up the freaking toilet
and then he starts,
hello?
Pulling it down, taking it out.
Insane.
And she literally goes, and she closes her, I swear to God that she glances down. And, like,
absolutely.
Who wouldn't? Because it's like, are you actually going to do that?
Yeah,
like, and then he was, and she was like,
she's like, I gotta go. But that's unhinged.
That's crazy.
Like, and even just the juxtaposition of Edwin seeing his stepsister and being like, oh my god,
freaking out, and Derek's just like, no, I'm just gonna put it on display.
Hello?
I'm gonna say that season 1 is, in terms of just like what they did and said, was way more unhinged than any other season.
100%.
Like, they really were like, is this gonna be on HBO Max?
Yes. They said, we're the parents from hell. Or the next door neighbors.
The next door neighbors from hell. The parents from hell. No disrespect. to George and Nora. We know they have a lot going on.
Nora said, we're the next door neighbors from hell. Yes. And it's like, how does that happen on a children's show?
And I'm also thinking of...
I'm fine with it. But
I think it was Marty the Monster, where they literally say the word breast.
Yes. So, no, wait. Wasn't it? Was it breast? Oh, I mean, no, it was breast. It was definitely breast.
Marty the Monster, because he was talking
about Sandra.
Susan.
Sandra.
Yeah. Who's Susan? Is Susan somebody?
Probably.
Who knows?
I'm sure.
Who knows?
One of his girlfriends.
Yeah.
But yes, Sandra's well endowed in her chest area.
Yeah, they talked about chests a lot in that episode, actually.
Right.
Which, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just wild
but
that...
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of wrong the way he was talking about her.
It's true. Yeah, no, Derek is full misogynist.
Yes, season 1 Derek is insane.
It's kind of insufferable.
You're just like, I hate him, but also...
But it's like, we love him enough where it's like, we stuck around, but it's also just like, especially now it's just like...
because now we know he has grown, so it's much better.
I think, that makes it more tolerable.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, we had a huge crush on him, so it's just he can say whatever he wants.
Hello, duh.
But looking back now, I'm like, ooh.
But yeah, that's the first unhinged moment. That's crazy. Also, this is the next one. That was unhinged.
Oopsies.
Oopsie daisy.
Nothing happened. Oopsie daisy.
Speaking of...
This isn't centered.
Our friends at the Oopsie Daisy podcast.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
We should mention that.
Listen, there's another podcast out there about Daisy, and we are not trying to get your goat, okay?
No, absolutely not.
We have nothing but respect. Yeah, we love them.
I've listened to a lot of their episodes. I would say everyone, but I don't know. Maybe there's some that I missed. You know what I mean?
But they were here first.
Yes.
And they were podcasting about Daisy first, and you should check them out if you haven't.
1,000%.
Because we are all friends here.
Yes. I love that for them. And we'll link to them in, like... the description and stuff like that. So go freaking watch them.
Yeah.
This next unhinged line happens in the hallway at school when Casey and Emily meet. So Emily is Casey's best friend, as we know, and for what reason, who knows. Sorry.
You know.
Listen. everyone's a teenager and they all suck.
It's true.
So, but, yeah, she's, obsessed with Derek, actually.
It's true.
Emily is obsessed with Derek, and she's had a crush on him for years, whatever. And who knows how many years, because it changes.
It does change.
Changes
could be 10 years, could be 6 years.
Yeah, it could be 5, 1 year. It was like,
who actually knows?
I don't know. And Emily sees Derek down the hall, and she's like, he must have gotten hotter over the summer. And Casey turns around
in slow motion.
Derek's walking down the
because
hallway.
It's Casey's perspective.
And it's Casey's perspective. She turns around and it's like,
yeah, he's walking like she's having a dream or something, and he's like high-fiving this guy. Like, he's like strutting, and then he walks by them, and Emily's just like, "Hey, Derek.
Hey, Derek," and he goes, like, "Hey, sup?" He says,
"Sup?" And then
Casey's like,
figures he ignored me.
You're right.
And we're just like, we don't have a script, you guys. We just go right off of memory.
And Emily's just like, oh, don't like feel bad.
Yeah.
It took me years to get a
sup. Yeah.
And she's just like, no, he's my stepbrother. And
she's
then
like,
Emily says, you're Derek's new stepsister? You're so lucky. What do you mean? What do you mean? This is where "what do you mean" started, I feel like.
That's so true. So true. Because let's put ourselves in Emily's shoes, okay? Emily has a huge crush on Derek, has for years, okay? Emily is basically saying that she would trade places with Casey and be Derek's stepsister because she would be lucky to.
Right. And she wants to date him.
Exactly. So it's like, clearly, you know what? I'll say a lot of things about Emily, but Emily was a Dasey ally, okay? Yep. She was totally cool with the concept, and that makes me cool with her.
Exactly.
But
if she wasn't so obsessed with Derek, she would probably ship Dasey.
Honestly.
Let's be real.
Honestly.
And we appreciate that. I mean, I guess we don't know if that's true, but that's how
we're just gonna assume.
Yeah, we can assume whatever.
We can assume whatever we want because they're not real people.
Exactly.
Even though we tend to forget.
Yeah. So I can't believe she said that. That's insane. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Yeah, you are so lucky.
So lucky.
Like, and she said, "I am so not lucky." At all.
Yeah. Which is also in and of itself can be construed.
Actually true.
In many ways.
Yeah, if you think about it. She's like, actually, I'm not lucky.
Because I can't be in love with myself.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not lucky because I just want to date him. But she doesn't know at this point. She has no idea. That
I was just thinking about, like, if Emily was traded places with Casey for that bathroom scene, like...
Oh my god. She would just stay there.
Yeah, she literally would not even leave the bathroom.
She'd be like, okay.
But I feel like in that circumstance, Derek would not continue to go because he's scared of Emily because she's a little bit stalkerish.
Yeah, we don't even think about what happened at the end.
Yeah.
It's insane. Okay, next unhinged line is... kind of a situation where there was a parallel, and this is first of many.
I will say I have no idea what Emily's about to say next. She's reading the list, and so I'm just like, I'm on the ride with you guys. Yeah. Like, I'm just waiting to hear what the next line is.
The first of many parallels between Derek and Casey and George and Nora, where George and Nora, by the way, they're parents. So George is Derek's dad, and Nora is Casey's mom.
Yes.
Who are married to each other.
Yes.
And they're arguing about the basement or the room situation and all of this stuff. And there's a situation, and I'm trying to remember exactly what happens. But basically, George and Nora say they start fighting about it as well, because they're like, okay, well, I don't think that Casey should have to, or I don't think that Derek should have to give up his room. And Nora is saying, I don't think that, or Casey's already given up a lot.
That's when they're all sitting at the dining table having, Casey's doing like a presentation of why she should get Derek's room.
Yes, Derek's room.
Which he's like,
yeah, and then like Derek should move in with Edwin or something like that.
And he LOLs.
Yeah, he's like,
that's actually insane.
And he does this freaking
collar
pop.
The collar pop was all we needed to know. 2005 shout out.
Absolutely. And so they're arguing, and Nora's like,
I know it's a lot to ask, but my girls have given up a lot already. And their new room isn't big enough as it is.
Oh, come on, Nora, just be reasonable.
No, maybe you should be reasonable.
Maybe Casey should be reasonable.
Maybe Derek should be reasonable.
Why are they doing this? So there's this parallel literally directly after one another, because all it is them arguing with each other, and it sets up this idea that George and Nora are very similar to Derek and Casey in the sense that they are, combative towards each other, not in a horrible way. Like they're not, they don't hate each other, really. Really, they don't. But that's the first of many parallels.
Yes,
which is
there are
crazy.
many.
Yeah. And of course, at some point in this episode, this is the next unhinged moment, is that they set up these blue screens.
Oh.
The blue screens are a staple of Life with Derek.
Indeed.
Yes, and
blue screens are very special.
There's blue screens in every episode, and sometimes they make sense, and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, sometimes
this one definitely makes sense. Let's be quite honest about that.
Uh-huh.
But it's a little strange if you think about it for more than 2 seconds, and it is.
If you think about it, or even if you don't think about it.
And these blue screens basically are Derek and Casey, or really any of the characters, except for George and Nora. They're never in the blue screens.
Yeah.
I just realized that, actually. Yeah, so any of the kids, really, that it would be, are in these blue screens where they're just in, another world, basically. They're not even related. I mean, they are related to the episode, but they don't actually... It's
more of just, what they're thinking.
Yeah, or, it's just kind of, almost like an allegory or a metaphor or something for what's happening in the episode.
Right.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's a stretch, but whatever.
Yes. And in this blue screen, Derek and Casey are fighting over a throne, which...
Yeah, they're circling it.
Yeah, they're circling a throne, whatever. And
they're also kind of staring each other down, which
they're
is gonna happen later in the episode.
Yes.
But they're wearing... Are they both wearing a crown?
I think only one is wearing a crown.
Okay.
Because I was thinking about that too, and I was like, are they a king and a queen?
Yeah, I know, right?
Not. It's just only one crown.
Okay, I'm gonna look just to make sure while you're talking, because I can't remember.
The long story short is that during one of the blue screens where they are, fighting over this throne, someone sits down. Was it Derek? I think Derek sits down. Or no, Casey's. I don't remember. We're going to look at it.
They both sit down at the same time.
Yeah, they both sit down at the same time. And they're kind of
struggling to fit in the seat.
And they're sitting on each other's laps.
Right. I think Derek gets under her, though.
Yeah, I think Derek is underneath her. So it's what? But why, actually? Why are you sitting on his lap?
Right. No, exactly. It's
I don't understand. But you just didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah. I feel like the blue screens are more of, the blue screens are not afraid to go there, in the words of Degrassi.
Yes.
They're just
they're more brazen.
Yeah, they're more physical and just flirty, cutesy.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
It's just what we don't get in the show, but it's just here's
they actually hug-ish in the blue screen.
Yeah.
Not this one, but in a blue screen.
Yeah, the party.
Yeah, the party, yes. And they were pretending to get along.
Right.
Right, yeah. And
yeah,
so,
they're hugging them
Yeah, exactly.
But it was still a hug.
Yeah, and you're just but it doesn't count because it's a blue screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
The blue screens are yeah, I guess. Sweet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're
it's it happened, but it didn't happen.
Exactly.
It's kind of upsetting.
But that's an unhinged one for sure. Why are you sitting on each other's laps?
Exactly. I give up. I'll look for the crowns later,
yeah, that's fine.
Honestly.
I'm pretty sure it's just one of them because... Well, I know it's one of them.
I think maybe
I remember one they pulled.
Well, that's the thing. I think maybe at the end of the episode they're both wearing crowns because they both won in a way. Because I feel like Casey's wearing one, but she reaches over and she pulls Derek's down in front of his eyes. But I could have swore she's wearing one.
It's possible, but maybe she was wearing one in a different blue screen.
It's true.
Who knows?
Doesn't matter.
That part is not the unhinged part.
It's about the lap. It's about the lap.
Yeah. Why are you sitting in each other's laps?
Exactly.
The next one is there's a scene where they're in the hallway. Actually, Edwin comes into Casey's room and is like, "Please give up this crusade and go." Or, I don't even remember. Yeah, that's basically what he was saying. Anyway, he was paid by Derek to go in and try to convince Casey to, like, give up on this. And she's just like, I'm not buying it. And so she, like, shoves Edwin out of her room, and guess who's standing right there?
Guess who's standing, like... How's he... He's, like... Is his hands in his pockets or his arms are crossed?
I think his arms are crossed.
I feel like he's
always got something to do with doing with his arms.
I really should
we'll talk about that.
To look, but yeah.
Yeah.
The arms is a whole other thing.
For sure.
But anyway, he's cockily leaning against the door, like, Edwin's doing my bidding again.
Yeah, he's like... And she's just, like, eavesdropping?
Yeah.
I think she says, like, eavesdropping or paying your little brother to, I don't know.
Yeah, paying your little brother to spy on me?
Spy on me. Yeah.
You must be really afraid I'm going to get what I want or something like that.
And he's like, I always go. I don't know what happens, actually. We did a little bit of sleuthing.
Yes.
During that cut there where we needed to see what was going on with the episode.
Yes. So
it's
when
been
Casey...
a little bit since we...
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of episodes to remember.
Yeah, true.
Casey opens the door. Derek is standing there. And she's like, you know, spy on me, paying your little brother, spy on me, blah, 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 blah. And he's just... And she's like, you must be really afraid I'm getting what I want. And he's like, please, I got home house advantage.
And besides, in my house, I always get what I want.
Aren't we arrogant?
Yes, yeah.
Which is like, ew. Like, why are you saying that?
And the way he, like, bends down to her level and, like, says it in her face.
True.
Like,
you're like, what are you doing?
Like, why are you trying to seduce her right now, actually?
Like, actually, though.
The way...
They're so close.
Okay, there's a way... I feel like after the room, this just stops happening. But, like, Derek talks to Casey in a specific way. Like a normal person. Like, basically. Right. I mean, he's arrogant, but he still talks to her like, you know, he just would talk to a normal person. But when Derek talks to girls, like when he's flirting with girls, it's so gross. Like, he drops his voice.
Yeah.
And he says the cheesiest crap.
Yeah.
And it's like he was testing the waters in the room where he was just like... I'm going to lay on the charm and see if, like, Casey will give in to my whatever. Yeah. But instead, she, like, bamboozles him, and then he's like, well, I underestimated you. And then he never does that again.
Underestimated me. I like that.
Yeah, keep doing that. Oh, my God. Help.
Looks like you underestimated me, Derek. I like that. Keep doing it.
That is an Unhinged line later. Yeah, anyway.
We'll we gotta power through these.
We do. So, but that whole scene is insane because just because, one, they're so close to each other, and also just the way that Derek is talking to Casey. Yeah. It's like, why are you like this? Like,
yeah, he's literally, like, asserting his dominance.
He is, but it's, like...
This way where it's like he wants her to...
kiss him? Anyway.
Literally.
Which, like, he does, let's be real.
And it failed. Sorry.
And it failed, unfortunately. And then, this one set us up as a fandom for a while, and we use this in many fan fictions. But there's a scene in the kitchen where George and Nora are introducing the idea of Casey living in the basement.
You expect me to sleep in the basement?
Can we say princess?
Because she's being, you know, difficult.
Right.
And self-entitled or
but
whatever.
The princess thing really, and I feel like even in like book talk books and stuff, like the princess thing is like for like these girlies eat that crap up. They're like, oh my god.
They're like, oh my god, he called her
princess, but like he has to do it in like a rude way.
Yeah, like a condescending.
Right, that's the whole thing about it. Yeah. And I will say just now, just because I'm thinking of it, like him calling her princess at the very beginning of this episode, we have him like they're doing this whole Cinderella thing.
The very first time they talk to each other.
Yeah.
Derek!
Who are you?
I'm the stepsister you've always wanted.
Really? Because you look like the ugly stepsister from Snow White.
That's Cinderella, you freak.
He calls her an ugly stepsister at the beginning.
Yeah.
But now he's calling her Cinderella. Yeah, basically.
So,
and that will come back later. And we'll get to there when we get there.
We'll get to that later. In definitely a different episode.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah, why is
like we'll be lucky to get through season 1 in this episode? Yeah, actually, to be honest.
Actually, true. Can we say princess? And that really stuck with the fandom. Like,
it did.
We use that all the time.
Yeah, I feel like maybe in like 1 or 2 other episodes, he kind of refers to her as a princess in like a like a mean way.
I don't even know that he does.
We saw an episode recently where he did it.
It says princess, though?
Yes. I think it was like he shoots, she scores or something like that.
Oh, that makes sense, actually. I just don't remember it.
But it doesn't really happen.
Yeah, it's not very often. I was going to say it's the one about Space Case. He never calls her Space Case, but everyone uses
that's
Space
popular.
Case.
That's popular in the fanfic community.
Which honestly, I love it. I love it.
He should have.
They
really dropped the ball, kind of.
Yeah, that's their fault.
Done it.
That's on them. Anyway.
Especially in Summer School Blues. Like, he should have said Space Case.
100%. Hello, duh. Anyway. So, here it is. We're at this wonderful, amazing thing. Oh my gosh,
what's happening? I'm scared. I'm sweating.
There's a moment. And this is not a line. This is not a line.
Okay.
This is a scene, and it is... The basement is renovated.
Yeah.
The basement is renovated, and... So they go all down to the basement. It's supposed to be for Casey and all of these things. And then as soon as they get down there, Derek's like, I want the basement. And Casey's like, no, I want it.
Yeah, well, no, she's just like, okay.
And then Nora and George realize this is all a scheme. It's all a scheme by Casey. She was pretending to want the basement so that Derek would want it. And now that Derek wants it, she doesn't want it.
Right.
And of course. Because that's just the way that they are. Why would they ever be normal?
And Derek is, let's be real, Derek is so impressed by this. Like, it's actually honestly a turn on, and he's trying to hold it together.
Absolutely. Anytime that Casey does something sneaky, he's like, I'm impressed.
Yeah, he literally loves it.
Anyway, so they're just like, now they're on edge because now Derek knows that Casey was tricking him.
Right.
And that it worked.
Right.
And now Casey and now their parents are like, fight it out downstairs. No one is coming upstairs until you decide who's taking this room. So now they're stuck in the basement together. And they're fighting, blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, the first thing, before they're fighting, is everyone leaves.
Mm-hmm. They close the door.
Why? Bad idea. Anyway, they close the door.
Questionable parenting skills.
As Derek would say. And they're alone in the room together. And then what happens? The iconic circling scene. They just circle around each other all the while keeping eye contact. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Literally, like, it's
Unhinged.
I don't even know a word for it.
This is the first episode of this show.
That's what I'm saying. That's why the pilot is so good. It's literally just setting everything up.
Setting everything. This is the basis of their relationship. The sexual tension between them.
Yeah.
When they're angry with each other.
Yeah.
But also, they actually care about each other. But anyway.
Right. And keep in mind, Derek pretty much gets whatever girl he wants, right?
Yes.
Like, they all fall prey to his charms.
Yep.
Casey literally just duped his ass into believing something, and he fell for it. He fell for it. That's crazy. Props to Casey. Like,
I don't get it. I don't get it.
She did that. And then he was like, holy crap. And I know that he was mad at first, but more than mad, he was like, why am I attracted
right.
to
Yeah, he's like, wait, you tricked me? And also,
I think
you're so hot. He's like, that was hot, actually.
I know. I'm like, why don't we talk about that Casey is really attractive, and it's like Derek obviously would be attracted to her.
Literally. Like, I can't. So, that happened. Mm-hmm. And then, after that scene, they're like, they're fighting all these things, and they're talking about how George and Nora have never been happier than with each other. Mm-hmm. And then Casey realizes, I can't get in the way of this. Like, I can't be making my mom, upset because I'm trying to cause issues, and I don't want that. So she goes upstairs. She's giving up, basically. She's like, I'll take the room, whatever. And then she goes upstairs and she's like, I'll take the room. They both go upstairs and she tells Nora and George, I'll take the room. And Nora's like, actually, we're going to take the room. And George is like, what? She just decided. And then Derek gets so excited about the prospect that George and Nora are going to be living in their room.
Yeah, he literally says,
And Dad, it's a whole floor between you and us kids.
Huh? Why do you need that? Why do you need that? Why do you need that?
And also he's ecstatic because now Casey is going to be literally
right next to him. Hello? Like, what do you... Oh my god. And he literally is like, why is he even saying anything? Because,
True.
like, yeah, George is kind of apprehensive, but, like, technically, he already won by not having the basement, like,
True.
room. And, like, George and Nora, like, or, you know, even if Casey had chosen to move down there.
Right.
So why is he even chiming in?
If he actually didn't like Casey, he would actually hate this decision because now Casey would be right next door to him.
Actually
But
true.
he's actually excited.
He's like, and it's a whole room floor
he's
between
like,
you
oh
and
my
his
god,
kids.
this is better. Even I didn't think of this.
Yeah, he was.
This is the best possible scenario.
Like, you see his face, he's literally so excited.
Yeah, it's adorable.
It is. And, rip.
Oh, and then the last thing we have is the first of many.
First of many hug dodges. So, like, after they all, you know, are like, okay, George and Nora are taking the thing, and we're like, okay, we've all figured out what's going on. They're like, let's hug it out. And George and Nora, I mean, are saying that. And Casey's like, of course, I'll hug you. And then Derek is like,
yeah.
And he gets out of there.
Actually, George is kind of choking him.
Yeah, he actually is.
grabs him
And then he's like, I gotta go. Get out.
He literally limbos under.
He
He's
does.
just like
100%. And that's the first hug dodge. First of many.
Literally, the running joke never ends, and it's like,
Yep.
ha ha ha, good job, guys.
Please let the
Stop.
bug. Please let the bug.
Stop it.
I get it.
I'm not upset.
No, not at all. So that was the first episode.
Great. All right, we got to make this faster.
Yeah,
we'll do less of a synopsis.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they've seen the episodes.
Yeah,
they already
who
know.
are we talking to? We're talking to fans.
Exactly. We just said we wouldn't review the episodes
And then we
in
did.
the other episode, and now we're saying we're
Yeah.
reviewing the episodes.
Yeah.
So we're
That's
just
what we're
gonna
doing.
describe the scene
Keep
briefly
going,
and
keep
just give
going.
you the line.
Yes.
So we're on to
The Fall.
The Fall.
Is, if this is in the order of how, the way it airs, or if it's in production order, who knows?
yes.
We have no idea.
It's in different orders on different platforms.
Exactly.
No one actually knows.
And no one knows, but the next episode that we have on our list is The Fall.
Yes.
And that's the episode where Casey falls down the stairs because Derek insulted her.
Yeah. She was wearing a gothic funeral outfit.
Nice
outfit. Who died? Nobody.
Why did you say that like that?
It's also the episode that opens Stepbrother Alert.
Stepbrother alert.
Which we say all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So of course it's, you know, Casey's like completely humiliated and
Right.
all this stuff. They call her Klutzel. It's the whatever.
Yeah, it's the
The
birth of
Klutzel.
Derek giving Casey nicknames.
True, actually.
Which he does a lot.
Technically princess, but
I mean, that's true.
He didn't really.
But Klutzel is like a made up
Yes.
term.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He made that up.
Tommy
And
von
he-
Frankenheimer.
Yes, we love those.
So,
I love the nicknames he comes up with.
I think we only have one thing for the fall, right? I mean, there's probably more, but
yeah, this is one where I'm sure that we missed some. So,
Yeah.
but we have one thing for
like
the fall.
the party's not even on here, is it?
That's upsetting. There's no way.
I think it's because the party in and of itself is just
unhinged.
The whole
Honestly,
thing. We could honestly spend. I know we're not supposed to review episodes, but I
Right.
feel like we have to spend a whole episode talking about the party because the party is universally
It
the
is.
fan favorite. So
Yeah.
we might just have to skip over that. For
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Okay.
So what happens in the fall?
In the fall, there's many scenes, but the first scene, or the only scene on this list that we have
So
is...
far.
Yeah, so far. And definitely fill us in.
Yes.
Is Derek in Casey's room questioning her about whether she likes Sam or not. So, you know, Casey's like having a horrible time at school because everyone's making fun of her and all this
Right.
stuff. And it's all Derek's fault. And so he comes in.
Yeah,
and,
the previous scene, Derek just threw like ham at her or something.
Yeah, that's
She
true.
went up to her room
Yes.
crying. George and Nora are like, no, Derek.
Yes.
And then he's like, oh, fine, I'll go apologize.
Yeah.
Goes
And-
upstairs.
Yes. And he's just like, oh, Lizzie had come in and been like, you need to fix this with Casey. at
Right,
school."
right. She did the puppy dog face.
Yes. And he was like, okay, fine. So he goes and he talks to Casey about, you know.
Yeah. First she slams the door in his face.
Yes. Slams the door in his face.
And then he opens the door. He's like, forget knocking.
Yeah,
Actually,
and then
I'm just gonna come in.
Yeah, he comes right in and he sits on her bed
Yeah.
right away.
Sits on her bed.
Hello?
And crosses his legs. Like he does
Yeah.
it in such a like.
He's
It's
like-
almost like he pissed
said-
on her bed.
Yeah, he said, this is my domain, actually.
Literally.
And she's just like, why the frick are you sitting on my
I
bed?
think you're massively uncoordinated. He's like, you think I caused your problems. I think you're massively uncoordinated.
What?
You think I caused your problem? I think you're massively uncoordinated.
And then she explains why she thinks it's Derek's fault that she fell on the stairs, which it literally was. Let's be clear.
Okay, yeah.
Everything in this episode is Derek's fault.
Yes.
And what Derek is about to say is untrue.
It's so true. Untrue.
And it's self-sabotaging for him.
100%.
Okay? Deep breaths. He proceeds to go on saying there's a common element in all these scenarios that Casey just described. And he's like, there was another person there. And then he's like,
you don't like Sam, do you? And we're like, no.
First
she
of all,
says no. And it's true. She doesn't.
He literally, like, the craziest part about this is how he stands up. Like, they're literally 1 inch apart.
Right.
You don't like Sam, do you?
Yeah, he's like, you don't like it.
He stands to his full height and like, cause you know, Derek, I feel like Derek is always like crouching down and like condescendingly talking to Casey. Yeah. But he stands to like his full height and their height difference, I can't actually talk about it because I'll die. It's perfect. It's the most perfect height difference. It is the perfect height ever.
Difference. Yeah.
And he like looks her right in the face. They're so close. They could kiss.
They could and they should.
It's crazy. And he kind of points at her. He's like, you don't like Sam. Do you? And then Casey, who is, I feel like, reacts this way because she's so uncomfortable with the closeness. Yeah. And she literally shoves him immediately. And
sits back down in the bed.
She's like confused and she's just like, why are you so close to me? She's like,
no,
what? I don't even know him.
What? No, I don't even know him.
And then
he gets up again, and he's
and he's just like, he was there when he fell into a box, he was there when he fell on the stairs, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Basically
pointing out all the time Sam was there.
But
when you look back at those...
is such a stretch.
Yeah.
Because, like, the third one, he was, like, making fun of her again.
Yeah.
And then...
He said that she spilled all her food on the floor after he mentioned Sam. But it wasn't true. No, she reacted. She, like, gasped.
Yes.
And then, like, dropped her food on the floor. Right. But she was reacting because Derek said he was going to tell everyone at school. Yes. But no, he said Sam won't tell anyone.
Oh, yeah.
And then she just kept eating. Yes. And then he's like, of course I might. And then she reacted.
And don't sweat the whole falling in a box in front of Sam thing. He won't tell anybody at school, of course. I might.
Derek!
Casey!
Marty!
Hey, everyone! Enough!
And I'm like, Derek is literally, like, in his mind, I bet he does think that Casey has a crush on Sam. Like, he doesn't think that he's affecting her because from the room, he's like, oh, Casey doesn't fall for any of my crap, so why would I affect anything she does?
Also, thinking about this, Sam said that Casey was cute.
Yeah.
To Derek. So he's like, oh no, they both like each other.
I think immediately he just thought, he was like, who wouldn't like Sam?
And also like, who wouldn't like Casey.
Right. And so in Derek's mind, it's already happening. Yeah. Casey, we don't think...
She's never...
she doesn't even know him.
She doesn't know him. Like she said, she's never even like thought about him that way. It doesn't make any sense.
There's nothing there's nothing about them being together
until after he says
he puts it in her mind.
Yeah, it doesn't make. It's crazy. He's self-sabotaging.
Yeah, and then she's just, after she pushes him down, he gets back up
again. Right in her face.
Still in her face. And he's like, well, you better blah, 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 for the sake of yourself and those around you or whatever. then this is the parting line.
Don't crush on my friends.
And then walks past her, but brushes her shoulder.
For what reason?
He also did earlier in the episode when him and Sam come in and she falls into the box or whatever. Yes. When he's vaguely introducing Casey to Sam, he like hits her shoulder like he's claiming ownership. Yeah, like, this is Casey, but it's mine.
It's mine.
She's mine.
She's mine. This is my Casey.
He physically cannot walk past her without touching her. And if you watch the episodes, I dare you to find an episode where he doesn't
rush.
I was like, even if he doesn't distinctly touch her, he will go the way around.
Yes.
That's the most narrowest path. Like, where he's guaranteed to at least brush up against her.
Yeah, literally.
It's crazy.
It's so stupid.
I feel so bad for him sometimes, but also I hate him.
I mean, true, actually, in real. Okay, next episode.
What is it? Grade point average?
Grade point average.
Oh, God. The married episode.
Yes. This is crazy because there is a blue screen. As we talk about, they're more brazen.
This is one of the most iconic blue screens.
It's one of the most iconic blue screens. There's multiple of them, like, that are, you know, great in this episode.
Right.
But one specifically where they're, I actually don't know if it's the one where they're kneeling.
Yes.
He's kneeling, I think.
Kneeling, yes.
Yeah, he's kneeling going like...
Yeah, because she's like,
yeah.
she's not going to help him with the school project.
Yes.
Which, okay, hang on, I'm sorry. I just have to mention this really quick.
Yeah.
Because it's not in there. But Derek lying that they got assigned partners for the English assignment, even though Casey takes that class and she knows that partners were not assigned.
Yeah.
Derek, being the genius he is like, oh yeah, he assigned partners for the English assignment. And he's like, guess,
my partner.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, oh no, I guess we have to work together.
Yeah.
And it's just like, they both know Derek is lying. But they're too excited to
work together.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, but whatever.
Yeah,
it's fine.
And then that's the moment where she turns around and she's
they
like,
smile.
And they smile. Yeah, they
used
do.
in every fan edit that ever exists.
And
Holy
it's like,
crap.
but why are they're so stupid? I hate them. But
I can't.
back to the other part.
Yeah.
Because of that situation where he's begging her to like actually
she
help
decides
him.
to actually not help.
Yeah, she wanted a bad grade.
Right.
And so she was so happy to work with Derek on this.
Right.
And he needed a good grade to pass the class. So anyway.
She's just like,
She's like, and he's like on his knees begging and like whatever.
Hugs her
around
waist,
the
like
waist.
her hips.
Yeah.
And like grabs
not
her.
only that, but while all of this is happening,
there
are hissing noises.
Yeah. It's like literally
You're like, what the fuck?
And it's like we know what they were probably aiming for, like, you know, ass kissing. Yeah, like I'm trying to get you to help me, and like I'll say anything. But
like,
it's just like,
what?
For him to be hugging her hips, which is very intimate, for him to be on his knees in front of her is very intimate, and then to add kissing noises to that,
it's a little much.
Is crazy. And you know what? I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and saying that Michael Cedar being on his knees was his choice, and it's his fault.
I believe that one.
I will blame him for everything.
I believe it. And so there's that. And then really the only other thing in that episode, well, it's not the only other thing, let's be real.
Yeah, but
there's the scene he tricks her into start like working with him.
Oh, yeah.
And he like looks at, I can't.
And I think well, I know we kind of skipped over the party and we'll come back to that, but Derek does this thing with Casey where like he is vulnerable with her and like actually is truthful with her,
right?
And then turns around and acts like he was kidding the whole time.
No,
which happens in the party.
Yeah, it happens.
And it happens in Grade Point Average. It happens so many times.
Yes,
and he's always like, "This was all part of my scheme." But it's like you were telling the truth, though. And we all know it. Exactly. You're not that good of a liar.
100%. So, they for this project, it's about Mary Shelley,
Frankenstein or something. Yeah. Or Mary Shelley, Percy Shelley.
Percy Shelley, Mary Shelley.
Yeah.
Who are married.
Yeah, exactly.
They're husband and wife. And they dress up as Mary and Percy Shelley. Yeah. A married couple.
They dress as a married couple.
Huh?
They dressed up as a... They dressed up as a married couple.
They did that. Why, though? Actually, why? So that's pretty unhinged, I would say.
And then after that... Because, like, it was Casey's idea because she wanted Derek to get a good grade or whatever.
Yeah.
And her as well. But it's like then Derek literally was like, he was 1 point short of getting a passing grade. Mm-hmm. And all he did was, like, say this and put on, like, the saddest face ever.
Oh, my God, it was so sad.
And she was just, like, make room for the grub. And then those two guys went to go make fun of her. And Derek literally was like...
He's like,
he's gonna punch them in the face.
Actually true.
And they shut up immediately. And I'm like, they're in love.
100% actually. Not to mention actually the point going back to the fall when he's like, that's Derek's sister.
First of all, Corey Plunkett, okay, what a little rat.
Yeah.
But Derek hit him on the butt, even though he knew his butt was like broken. And he was like, I don't care. And
got a bruised butt.
And then he's just like, tell everyone that Casey's my stepsister. But like stepsister.
Stepsister, and then he's like, that's Derek's sister. It's like you had one job, Corey.
And then to add on, I know we're going back, but I'm like, now to add on to the narrative of him making Casey like Sam, then Casey is about to make a fool out of herself, and he's like, oh, she won't listen to me. Then he forces Sam to go and like walk her to class. Yeah. And then
it's like, who set them up?
Yeah, and then it's like, then Casey starts to like Sam after he like walks her to class. And then who's standing in the hallway like a creep watching them?
Derek.
Like,
and why? He wasn't even there. He was like,
it's like, no, he ditched Emily because Emily was talking to him and then he wasn't there because he went to go follow Casey and Sam to her class.
He doesn't care about Emily.
Crazy.
Except for in relation to Casey.
Oh my god.
I can't.
What's the next episode?
The next episode is Marty the Monster.
Oh lord, the boobs episode.
We love the boobs episode.
Now her breasts on the other.
Okay, you know what? Bras at breakfast, breasts at dinner. Let's try to keep it clean, people.
Which, honestly, probably one of the most unhinged lines in this show.
What?
Derek, is Casey your girlfriend?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, what?
I mean, okay, that is a logical assumption.
Actually.
To make.
Yeah, so Sandra is a new girl in school, and we're not going to go too deep into it, but Derek wants to date her or whatever. And so he invites her to babysit Marty with him at their house, and Casey is going out to shopping with Emily or whatever, and right as Derek's trying to rush her out the door before Sandra gets there.
Yeah, he's literally spinning her out the door.
Touching her all the way.
Yeah, unnecessary touching, as always. And then she, like, rips herself out of his arms.
And then like, the door opens. They open the door, and there's Sandra.
Yeah.
And then she sees them together in this house.
Right, they're, like, sitting right next to each other.
Yeah.
Like, he's behind her like
Hello.
Derek, is Casey your girlfriend?
No.
They both go,
no.
And they both back up, and they're just like, why would you think that? No.
Don't think that.
No.
Please.
But it's like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like if they were, like, grossed out by it, they would, like...
Doth protest too much.
Like,
I can't say
well,
it.
I think they would protest more if they actually, like, thought that it was that gross.
Siblings.
Right. But they're just like, no. And then she's just like, I'm Derek's new stepsister.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like, anyway. But then, now knowing that the reason that Derek wanted to babysit Marnie was so that he could, like, impress
be with this girl.
Sandra.
Now she's staying there. Because she has to monitor their date.
Yeah, and she was, like, so upset about having to babysit in the first place. Anyway. So, she's abandoned all of her morals, I guess, of... I don't even know.
When it comes to Derek, always.
Yes. But then, actually...
She does leave at some point.
Yeah, she lives with Sandra. Because...
right. Yeah. Emily shows up. They take Sandra out shopping with them. Derek's left alone. Derek has to babysit Marty by himself.
Because now Sandra knows also that was the reason
that he's a liar. Yeah. So, anyway, whatever. They come back from shopping, and Derek is wearing
Casey's
women's clothing, because Marty dressed him up and put makeup on him.
They were playing dress up.
She's a child.
Yeah.
And their relationship is adorable.
Yeah. And so they come in, and Casey says, You're wearing my clothes.
Again.
Huh? Hello? What do you mean?
And he is wearing her clothes.
And
actually, I mean, like, he has, like, a skirt on, which we assume is Casey's. But
we've never seen her wear it.
The feather boa he has on is, like, always on the back of Casey's door, and you can see that in this episode. So.
And it's just like, when did he wear her clothes? And
did he go into her room?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Who knows? I mean, he was always in there, but, you know.
True.
So that's crazy. Like, what are you talking about? And then he's like, Casey, can I talk to you in the kitchen? Which is where many of their conversations take place.
I think that's the first time he calls her Case. He's like, Case, can I talk to you in the kitchen?
You're right.
And...
Hey, Case, can I talk to you in the kitchen? And she goes,
anything for a pretty lady.
Yeah.
She called him pretty.
And it's like, I feel like that's just like openly flirting and like in front of Sandra. And it's like one of the many times they both just leave somebody in a room.
Right.
Like, someone that one of them likes, they just ditch them
Kendra,
to go talk privately somewhere else.
Yes, Kendra, Trevor, is his name Trevor?
Yeah, Trevor in the vet. Yeah. It also kind of happens in Ivanhoe when they like leave Max sitting on the stage and then they go talk.
Ivanhoe.
Literally just name anyone and they ditch them to go talk to each other. It's so stupid. They're
and a lot of the
so
time
oblivious.
it's in the kitchen.
Yeah, for sure. The kitchen is a special place.
They love the kitchen. Island specifically. Anyway, next episode that we have on here, which is, you know, we skipped a bunch, but it's fine. Sweet Misery.
I love that.
I don't remember this first one.
What is this? First thing, we had to do some research again.
Yeah,
Excuse our rustiness. First thing for Sweet Misery. Is it the only thing? No, we have another thing. Okay, it's a Paul scene. We love a Paul scene.
We love Paul.
Oh my gosh. Paul is the realest mother effer in that show.
Yeah.
He's always telling it like he knows what's going on.
He knows. I mean, if anyone knows, it's Paul.
Yeah.
Like he
literally all Casey does in that office is talk about Derek. Like at one point they bring out a file on Max and it's like this big and I'm like, Derek has literally encyclopedias lining the walls.
100%.
But anyways.
So in this episode, basically, Casey gets hurt because of something that Derek did.
Yeah, or she gets hurt.
Yeah, she's not really hurt.
They're both faking.
Like, she has a sprained ankle or whatever, but it's not even sprained. It's probably, like, twisted or whatever.
And she's talking about how people are all nice to her now. Yeah, and it's all because of Derek. And she looks off dreamily about it. And then he's like, so this has brought you two closer together. And she's like, not at all. And
that
worm is gonna squirm. And then he says,
if you give love, you get love.
Hello?
Paul? He literally was like, you have to love Derek because
then he will love you back.
Yeah, I think he already knew Derek loved her.
Oh, absolutely. He's like, no one would be this involved in your life.
So true.
If they didn't love you.
I'm like, Paul has to know.
He knows everything.
He knows. That's why, like, his reactions are so big whenever Derek
comes
pops into his office. He's like, oh my god.
Literally.
It's the man in love with my favorite student.
Literally. And so that's Unhinged. And then
oh my god, the next line I actually can't. I'm gonna die. Bye, I'm behind my hair.
So during this episode, they're like, basically because of this thing that Derek did, Casey holds something over him the whole episode. Like, if you do this for me, I won't tell our parents that you are the reason I'm hurt.
Right, exactly.
And so, because I don't know why that would be bad, but anyway,
yeah, and then eventually
he'd get in trouble.
Like, are you done? Like, stop. And then she's just like, no, there's more
that I want.
Yeah.
Whatever. And he's like, and what could you possibly
Yeah, he's like, you
want?
have my blah, 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 my blah, blah, blah. He lists off all these things.
And he said,
you've already got my everything.
He says that to her.
Sorry.
Face. What? Also, she's sitting in his reclining chair, which like is crazy.
You have my chair.
But he's in the couch, and he literally leans over the couch like a desperate man. He's like, you already have my everything.
It's like, what?
And I'm just like,
who says that? Who says that?
His everything is his heart.
Yes. She has his everything.
His everything.
That's insane.
She's his everything.
That's, period. Actually, that's just another phrase for that, you know?
Oh my god, not Milk Code Blue.
Oh.
Not Milk Code Blue.
Not Milk Code Blue.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, well, Milk Code Blue is literally an episode about Sam wanting to date Casey and Derek not wanting that to happen.
Even though he's the reason that Sam and Casey like each other.
Literally the reason. And we're just like, okay, why though?
This isn't even in there, but I think the first Unhinged thing that happens is like Sam's over at dinner and like they make a joke that like Sam has a crush on Casey. Sam spits water everywhere. Which is so much gross. Water. It's so much water. Like, I'm just like,
biggest spitting.
I feel like Kit was like attached to like some kind of like a hose. It's like shooting water out of his mouth. But like after that, like I think it was before like the commercial break or whatever, Derek looks at Sam like literally if looks could kill. Like
he's literally like, I'm gonna kill this man.
No, I am like actually it sends shivers down my spine.
Actually true.
I'm like, I feel like I'm about to die.
Yes.
He was very upset.
Yeah, he's like, no, I don't want to think about Derek and Sam and Casey dating.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to think about Derek and Casey dating.
Yeah, no, why would I ever think about that?
I need to think about it every day of my life. Anyway.
So gross.
So, yeah, there's a lot of moments in the episode that are just like, what is going on? Like, Derek looking at them talking in the...
Yeah, like, that hallway that they got rid of.
That was after, I think.
Does it?
So, yeah, you're right. And actually, I'm stupid.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We're going off script.
But yeah, absolutely. That's the problem. But he's literally just staring at them.
Yeah.
And like,
R.I.P. to that weird hallway between the stairs and the laundry room
which is
area.
Derek's crying room.
That got renovated and it's gone.
Yeah, what happens? But yeah.
Derek's crying
corner.
He looked like that was his villain origin story. Because he was like literally like giving this villain stare.
I hate it. And it's like, why are you looking at them?
And then things get tense.
Absolutely.
Sam has had enough of Derek trying to control who he can like.
Yes.
Right? And, so
and they've been fighting all day, basically.
They've been fighting, not fighting over Casey, but it is about
Casey.
It
is about Casey underlying. And even, like, they all know it. Like, it's not even like, oh, it isn't about Casey.
Yeah,
actually.
no, they both know what they're fighting
they know
about.
they're fighting about Casey. So...
Sam is finally like, F this, I'm gonna go to Casey's room.
Casey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going towards the stairs, and Derek is coming down the stairs because he was on a call,
right? Oh,
another woman.
Yeah, I was like, okay, no, he took a call to another girl upstairs where Casey is. You know, he was in his room talking at full volume, like, you think I'm so attractive and you want to go out with me? Yeah, no, exactly. And I'm just like, weird that you would take that call where Casey
in your bedroom.
is. But anyway,
right
he's coming back downstairs now.
Yes, he's coming back downstairs. Sam's going
coming
upstairs, and he's like, hey, where are you going?
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm gonna go brush my teeth.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, where's your toothbrush? I'll use yours.
It's like funny. And
then Derek's like, no one touches my toothbrush. My teeth are sacred.
Literally. He's so obsessed with his teeth.
He is.
And the dentist.
And he's like walking him back. Like he's like forcing him to walk back down the stairs.
And it's like Derek is like above him on the stairs, like asserting his dominance
for sure.
And he's just like, just tell me
where you're going. He's like, fine, I thought about it. I'm gonna ask Casey to marry me.
It's like, oh, welcome to the family, bro.
Yeah. They start pushing each other.
He's like, thanks, bro.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, George and Nora are learning about how social services should be called because they're terrible parents. And then they hear fighting. And they're like, what's going on? And they're like, we're just wrestling. And they're like, oh, don't break anything. And then they cut to them. They're literally wrestling. And then Casey, she's like, the fuck is going on?
And Sam's like, tell her, Derek. Oh, wait.
Tell about your stupid mail code. He goes,
like, wait. That's why we're wrestling?
That's why we're wrestling?
What do you mean? Wait, sorry, what?
It's like we've known the whole time why you guys are fighting.
What do you mean everyone knows why you're wrestling? What other reason would you be wrestling?
You're right.
It doesn't make any sense. You were fighting about this.
He's like, wait, we aren't fighting to the death to see who gets Casey's hand in marriage? That's not what this is about?
What is happening here?
He's like, oh, that mail code bullshit I made up? I forgot about that.
Tell him about your stupid mail code.
And then he's like...
Well, it says guys can't date their friends' sisters. Yeah, and step-sibs count.
And then Casey lunges at Derek and she's like, you told him that? What is wrong with you?
You told him that? What is wrong with you?
And he's just like, don't get mad at me, Sam.
Derek's face, he loved it. He was like, he popped his collar too. And he was like smiling because he's like, you know.
He's just like, don't get mad at me. Sam listened to me.
Yeah, and she's like, you know what, you're
like,
right.
You're right. Which is so stupid.
Yeah, she just switches sides so easily just because Derek said something. And then she throws Sam onto the ground. And then you get this shot of Sam on the ground looking up, and then Derek and Casey are like next to each other, like on the same side. Derek's smiling because
he's like,
Casey,
I win.
Yeah, she's like, oh, Casey literally took my side. Like, fuck you, I won. Mm-hmm. And then she's just like... she's actually like, both of you are idiots.
Yes, both of you. Yeah, she's like, why? I don't want to ruin 10 years of friendship between two idiots. Which is like insane. True though. Like they were literally breaking up as friends.
Yeah.
Over Casey.
Didn't they say at some point like they never fight or something? Like they used to wrestle as kids,
remember.
but it's like I feel like they don't. I mean, we never see them fight like that.
No, it's crazy. It's true.
But anyways, that scene is so intense. What a finale. Oh, sorry,
we forgot. Liking your best friend is so threatening to you.
That's when she comes at him. She's like,
what is wrong with you? Would it have killed you to just butt out? Like me liking your best friend is so threatening to you.
Like, what?
Yeah.
That is insane. That's an insane line.
But it's like, you're literally saying that, yeah, he is threatened by that. Because it's like, she doesn't understand why he would be.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's the only reason why he would be doing this.
It doesn't make
sense. And it is the reason why he's doing it.
And the reason is you.
Love a Hoobastank reference. I feel like that song came out in 2005.
Probably. It's very 2005.
Oh my gosh.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Me liking your best friend is so threatening to you. By the way, this is the season finale.
Yeah, and what a finale.
And what a finale.
What a finale it
was. And we talk about this, like, It's been, like, in Life with Derek timeline, like, 3 months or something. Not even. Like, it's been,
hasn't been that long
very short period of time.
Yeah.
So it's not enough time for Derek to be like, I see you as a sister.
Right, for sure.
It's like...
He barely knows her.
It's like, so why are you so upset about the fact that he's dating... Or he wants to date your sister.
Exactly. Because it's like, I do understand when it is like a sibling you've grown up with, like your full-blood sibling you've grown up with. Yeah. You feel protective over them and you don't. And it's also just gross to see them date your best friend.
Yeah.
But like, Derek and Casey literally don't know each other. And he's always parading girls around in front of her.
Literally all the time.
And making out with them all over the place and whatever. Mm-hmm. But like, and you're the one that made Casey like Sam. And now you're just like,
it's all your fault. He's like,
forbid this.
He's like, I didn't mean to do that.
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are? Run Anyway.
I can't.
I hate them. And actually, they're gross.
And that's season 1.
And that's season 1. And that's on season 1.
And that's on season 1.
Season 1.
How are we doing for time?
We are
talking
at an
too
hour.
much? Oh my lord! I think we have to do season by season.
We might have to.
Because it's just nuts. And we even skipped episodes.
We did. That's crazy. Oh my God.
It's like, holy crap. Okay, you know what? What do you... that's too hard, I feel like, to answer. I was like, what do you think your favorite line from season 1
That's a lot of episodes.
It is.
What's your favorite season 1 episode?
My favorite season 1 episode, I mean... I feel so basic, but I'm like, it's the party.
I mean, it is. It is the party. And we didn't even talk about it. But honestly, we literally have to talk about the party.
Yeah.
In a, like, completely separate episode.
Yeah.
It is the iconic episode. And...
we have theories.
We have feelings.
Yeah.
As, you know, we start feeling... We stop thinking, actually. The theory part... No, actually, it's not real.
Yeah. There was no thinking involved.
Yeah. Our theories are based on feelings.
But we will be fully discussing that.
100%. And The Party is an amazing episode. It's so good. And it's basically a teen movie. Like, where...
It is a teen movie. And I think that's why it just translates so well with everybody. Because it's just a good time.
It's such a good time.
It's a joyous romp.
It's amazing.
I think it's like... It's one of Ashley's favorite episodes as well.
I think so, yeah. No, she always talks about that. Yeah. About that scene where they are rolling around on the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
And...
yeah, her and Michael live
crazy.
to do that kind of crap. Like, they're just down to just go crazy.
I love them.
And they're great at it.
They're very good at physical comedy.
They are. Love them.
We love them. But yes. I mean, that's my favorite episode, too.
Yeah,
season
for sure.
1, there's no way. But what is your favorite episode of season 1?
Let us know. It's probably also the party.
It's probably the party, let's be real.
And that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Or maybe it's the room. You know, maybe it's Milk Cool Blue.
Maybe it's Puppy Dog Tales. Maybe you're a unique snowflake.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know if it's Puppy Dog Tales.
That's also a great episode.
Sure.
I feel like there's
no bad mixed feelings, maybe.
I mean, it's misogynistic for sure.
It is for sure, but also it's
there's whatever.
There's always good to every episode. I mean,
that's true.
That's House of Games. Never mind. It's like, isn't that the one where she says, "You keep underestimating me." Keep doing that.
Keep doing it. Yeah. No, that's the one where Casey went to 80 different yard sales to find a rooster.
Yes,
and Derek was like, "No, I'm going to put my hockey trophy up here instead."
Yeah, and she's like, "He said I scored 30 goals to get this." And she said,
"I went to 30 yard sales to get this."
It's like, that's not the same,
that's
Casey.
Not the equivalent,
that's
girl.
Actually not the same.
I'm so sorry. Also, that rooster wasn't cute.
No, it wasn't. And you have bad taste.
It's so hard.
Yes, but also that is the episode where he says, "I learned that the fun way on the old couch."
Yeah, and that's the episode where it's like he changes his tune because he doesn't want their parents to divorce because that would mean that Casey would move out, and he can't have that.
True.
And then he's
like, then Casey would be out of my life forever.
Yeah, no, literally.
Oh my god, it would be so sad.
It's like he's truly so conflicted because it's just like on the one hand he's doomed because he's in love with his stepsister.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, it's like he can't have his parents divorced so he can be with her because then she would leave and probably never see him again.
That's true, and it's also messed up.
It is. It's truly
George and Nora should not have to get a divorce for Derek.
No, we would never want that.
No, we would never want that
ever.
If
George and Nora ever break up, I am going to kill somebody.
In a video game.
That's not what we want. Yeah. That is not what we want.
Exactly. We don't want that at all. Yeah. So those are just some of the unhinged, and not even all of the unhinged lines and moments in season 1, because skipped over the party, and we definitely missed other episodes.
Yeah, we missed like half of the episodes.
We really did. Well, like I said, we started making this list after.
Right.
So
that just leaves room to talk about more later.
Exactly. So. And we'll come back and we'll talk about more.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Great.
Oh,
there was a question.
Oh, there was a question?
The question of this episode is... Oh, this is so apropos. What is your favorite line from Life with Derek? Favorite episode, favorite line.
Yes.
Leave it in the comments.
That's a lot to choose from, for sure.
It is.
But I want to know.
For sure. But also, the line doesn't have to be from season 1. It can be from
true. It can
whatever.
be from any episode, any season, ever.
Cookies is a word.
Whatever. Cookies is a word, actually. True.
Bedtime extender. Cucumber sandwiches. Great.
So many things.
Well,
we love that.
I think that's all.
I think that's all. And that's all, folks.
Yeah, that's all, folks.
That's all, folks, every episode, actually.
And it's like, we said it was over, and it was not.
And it was not over.
No. Okay.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.